Mhm. Hey, howdy. Trying to set up this chat real quick. All right. Hey, Jerry. John, Bruce, Legendary. Hey, guys. Carolina, hi. Glad you're here. This will be interesting. Howdy, partner. Daniel Park. Let's see. So, this is the first time I've done this. So, um, just kind of wanting to have a conversation with you guys. If anybody has any questions about anything I've talked about in any of my videos and or in my tweets about the real estate developing and the token or tokenized real estate group. So let's see if I can get this. Just bear with me a second here. All right, that ought to help. Okay. Okay, so thanks for tuning in. Let's see, we've got Donald and XRP to sale. I need a bigger font here. XRP Freak. So far, so good, man. Thanks. It is a done deal. It is a done deal. Boy, wasn't that a great announcement today with the opening of the Washington, D.C. office and those that are going to staff that office? That's something that kind of moves the needle a little bit, I think. John, very interested in the tokenization of real estate. That's something I'm pretty excited about too. That's kind of a two-headed coin there. One part of it is, of course, when XRP moons, there's going to be lots of people with a new income that they haven't had previously before, potentially. And then making money is hard, but keeping it's even harder. And then the other part is trying to actually tokenize real estate, because right now it's about $250,000 to actually tokenize a piece of real estate so that you can buy, tokens in that, a portion of that development. And so I know that cost will come down as we move forward, but that's something that we definitely want to do. But I think we have a great opportunity, as this community is so awesome, that as we get to know each other, that at some point we may want to pool our resources and develop a piece of property or develop some properties that we can move our digital assets from that space into real world residual income, passive income that comes in, and whatever does or doesn't happen with digital assets, that part won't change, because you have a portion of your assets in real property giving you an income. And I think that's important to do. Somebody said, nice hat. Thank you, Francisco. Let's see. I'm going to jump into real estate, starting out with renting my own current home. that's different. I assume maybe you'll build a new one and then rent that one out. I'm not sure. But I will definitely request a sit-down training about how I could get into real estate investing from you. I am guarantee you, I'm going to be so willing to help anybody and everybody that wants to learn about this. I have been doing it for an awful long time. I've been doing it for about 30 years, 35 years maybe, and I really love it, enjoy it. There's a lot that goes into it, but I am going to try to build a library of videos that will help people understand the process a little more. So hopefully that'll be a benefit to us too. Now I've gone and done it. I've lost the chat altogether for a minute. What are the implications of tokenization of real estate? Well, typically right now, if you have to be careful when you're soliciting money from people and you pull people together to do a real estate development because there are the Securities Exchange gets involved. You're selling securities and you have to be licensed to do that kind of thing. And so you have to put together a writ, and it's a way to pull people together historically. But when we tokenize it, you've all heard it before. Everything's going to get tokenized. Everything's going to get tokenized. You have a Rembrandt painting, it sells for $40 million at auction or whatever, and they'll tokenize that, and you'll have the ability to, buy, 1,000 tokens in that Rembrandt. You may be an art lover, and so in order, now you can go to your art loving friends and say, hey, I own some Rembrandt. Same thing with real estate. You're going to be able to, for those projects that are on the market that have been tokenized, you'll be able to buy a portion of that real estate development instead of having to have enough money to be a full-fledged partner, or buy the whole thing or develop the whole thing on your own. So it's a great way to kind of break it down. And once you jump through all the legal framework to do it, then you can offer tokens into the project, and it's something to look forward to. But like I said, right now it's a little cost prohibitive unless you have a major project. Unless you've got maybe a $5 million development, then 250 that's not a big deal. You can do that paperwork and it's worth doing. And certainly there are companies, Proppy and a few others, that are working to go that direction. So let's see. Jason, thank you very much. Venture, you're setting the standard. Keep it up. That's really cool of you to say, man. I don't know what standard that is, but I am passionate about a few things, and my channel will probably reflect it. My family, God, XRP, and developing real estate. So that's kind of my wheelhouse. I love those subjects, all four of them. Anyway, if that interests you, then that's what I'll be talking about. And if anybody has any questions along that line, I'll be glad to share it. So, love your idea of sharing your experience and expertise on real estate developing for XRP profit. You guys, I really do mean that. I have a lot of experience that I just can't convey, and it's not trying to break my arm, pat myself on the back. It is just that I've done it for so long, and I love it. And I've had to be very creative about ways that I've done it, and some of those creative ways, where I didn't have enough money to make a development happen, I had to get real creative on how getting people to work with me and different techniques of creative, no financing, kind of nothing down approaches. And I'm hoping that won't be our case when we get to the point. When we get to the point where, we moon, hopefully we have enough monies. We don't have to get very creative at all. We don't even need to ask a bank's permission. We could just put a development together we can team up as friends and partners and do all the, like I said, the legal framework and build something awesome. What about LDS related questions? You're more than welcome to ask me anything about that. Like I said, those are my four topics: family, God, XRP, and real estate. So regarding real estate, are you available for hire? Well, hey, Blanco. Hey, buddy. Blanco's the one that in a couple of my first videos, I started out by saying, okay, so here's the deal pickle. And he's like, in one of his comments, I feel robbed. You didn't say, where's the deal pickle? So I said it a few more times, but then it started feeling cheesy, and I have a hard time when it starts feeling cheesy. But anyway, glad you're here, man. So, I mean, I hope I'm not available for hire much longer. I hope this thing goes to the moon and we have a Shane Ellis event in the not too distant future. And my efforts are turned from, Main Street and what I do normally in town to, building up in what I can do with this community and helping that way. Let's see. I don't know. Lots of comments, hard to keep up. King Blue, thank you for coming in. Nothing wrong with being cheesy. Some of the best people I know are super cheesy. Well, I'm one of them, so I'm cheesy. Okay. Do you have properties in mind that you wish to tokenize? I do own one LLC now that is a big venture that I am sure I'll share at a later date. That is a big one that I think we could start with and then duplicate. One of the things that I recommend people is that if you find something that works, all you have to do is look for a town with similar demographics with the same kind of need, and just take your same development and move it to the next town. So let's see. Comment I wanted to catch. White Fly, thanks for tuning in from Australia. That's cool. You're an LDS member. That's awesome. Let's see. If Alice wants to send Bob some XRP to the moon, Alice to the moon. Oh, okay. Somebody's talking about the honeymooners. Let's see. That would be Alice and Ralph Crandom and Alice. To the moon, Alice. To the moon. All right. Let's see. Do you think Trump is using the back futures contract to suppress Bitcoin? No, I think Trump is just suppressing Bitcoin because China controls the mining. And he doesn't want to give China any kind of a leg up in any way. I do have a feeling about these China trade wars. I do think, and I guess that's the fifth. That's the fifth part of my channel. Might be a little conspiratorial, but I think these trade wars could be part of the dog and pony show too. So let's see. Smoke and mirrors, exactly. Handle. Oh, hey, Handle. Glad you're here, buddy. This is my first show. You probably should be on it. Should just have you call in. Love conspiracy, says Kenneth, and I do too. I don't love them, but I mean, let's face it. It's like, the whole 9/11 truther thing. It's like, okay, you guys don't want us to think there's anything conspiratorial about the Twin Towers, but do you have to build, one world center in its place? I mean, wouldn't it have been better if you'd have just built back the two towers? But no, those come down and you build one world center. That's not helping me with the whole New World Order thing. So you're not helping out. Let's see. The U.S. is dragging their feet on support for a while. In your opinion, will the international support and partnerships we have be enough to drive the price in the coming months? What's your thoughts? Well, if you want my opinion, I think I think everybody's suppressing the price of XRP. I won't hide under, under a rock and not talk about that. I think Ripple's suppressing the price. Personally, I think governments are suppressing. I think everybody's suppressing the price because I think this is all a pre-planned program. I think they're rolling it out slowly and they're going about. They can't just have a Shane Ellis event, overnight, even though I believe that's what they want. But I think they've got to kind of slowly, hey, here's a new announcement. Hey, we're opening up a Washington D.C. office. Hey, we've donated $300 million to COIL, and they kind of feeding it out there. And I'm going on Fox Business News, and they're kind of going out there so that they're building the reputation of Ripple as a company, so that when they say, hey, by the way, we're using Ripple the company, everybody's comfortable with that because they've seen Ripple the company seems to be a very substantial, well-run corporation. And so, but I don't think that changes anything. I think they know where this is going. I think they've known where this is going. And if you want me to go down the little conspiracy side of things, I think I might not make any friends with this, but not with Ripple anyway, but I think David Schwartz probably was involved with whatever group wrote the white paper for Bitcoin and is, part of Satoshi Nakamoto. I think later on, he got a knock on the door and they said, hey, now we need something different and you're the guy to do it. And Ripple was born. How's that for conspiracy? So I think this has been all a plan for a long time. And I think David Schwartz is an absolute genius. And I have no problem with, the government going to him and saying, hey, in the interest of national security, we know where this is headed. And we need to have, something to offset, Bitcoin and Ethereum both. So let's see. Venture, did you see Kudo was mentioning how the financial services aspect of Trump's deal is on IMF deal? What's your thoughts? Are you talking about, I saw him, I didn't get to see the clip. I just heard reference to it. But, we know that, that Trump went to Japan like 4 months ago. Remember, he went to Japan and I don't think as big a deal was made out of it as could have been how, we signed a digital trade agreement. We're here to promote, our digital economy. Well, what the heck is digital economy if it's not, digital assets and what we're doing? I mean, because it's not just talking about, our dollars are digitized anyway. If you bank at the same bank that I do, and I give you $1,000 check, I guarantee you they're not moving any physical money. They're just taking the digits from my account, and put them in your account. But that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about a digital economy where things are dramatically different. If you were on CKJ's show the other night, you heard us talk about how I personally think that at least the major companies, the G7 around the world, more than likely will all have their own coin and will all probably tie it to gold, and they will become the preferred currencies, all with an agreement and an understanding. Just before I say that, I think the other part that could come with that announcement is possibly, Ripple signing over or selling at some price the balance of the escrow account to the IMF. And the IMF makes the announcement that they will be, it will be the ESDR. It will be for cross-border remittance. And that the IMF is the backstop for countries that are in trouble financially. They're the last place to get a loan if a country's in trouble. And so if the G7 at least say, hey, we're going to have our own digital asset and we're going to tie it to gold, and then the IMF will have XRP, and XRP will be used as cross-border remittance with or without SWIFT. Because quite honestly, I feel like SWIFT, I know it's a big organization. I know it's huge. But at the same time, I don't know that it's so big that quite honestly, if they wanted to, I mean, it's just a matter of creating those corridors. But I think Swift could act a little bit like Western Union, kind of thumb their nose up and say, "Nah, we don't need you," and then get left behind over time. Because if Ripple has all the support of all of the, sorry, I got a Dodge lover out here in front of my house, his big side or exhaust system. Anyway, but yeah, that's how I think that could happen, and we could just get the announcement. They may all be a coordinated event where they all announce it, and Swift got it. Well, Swift already kind of has a deal with Ripple through R3, right? So, anyway, I think. Did I freeze? Could somebody put a chat across there if I'm still okay? Anyway, so I mean, you think about it. If the IMF announced that they made a deal for the balance of the escrow, if the countries made an announcement that, hey, we're all tying our currencies to gold and we're launching our own asset, then the last one is that Ripple and Swift and R3 have all gotten together and put an amazing deal together. You announced all that at one time. Guess what you have? You have the Shane Ellis event right there, and off we're going. So, okay. So there's that. When you check Fiat Link day after swell, try not to faint. I really believe we're going to have a Shane Ellis. I really believe that, Rachel Lee's tweet was so dead on that they really don't want, an increment and people retail buying in over time. I think they do just want it to blast off. Hopefully we get there this year. I mean, that'd be great. I am bullish. Hey, CKJ, thanks, buddy. First live stream. You can blame it on yourself. You're the one that put me up to this. Thanks for tuning in, though. And bullish. You're bullish. Great show tonight. I missed half of it, though. I feel like I'm in Mayberry. I got a bullet right here. I got one bullet. Andy on the front porch. Andy had a guitar. I can't sing or play. Let's see. Hey, Fly. Glad you're here. Prue's here. Dang, this is awesome. All my favorites. Well, you're all my favorites. Let's see. I need it. The Shane Ellis theory will happen. I just don't know how high it will go. I agree with that. I mean, could anybody know? I don't think anybody would. I don't think anybody could tell. And it really is what everybody's heard. Literally everybody talk about. It just depends on what they use this. What they're going to use XRP for. But shoot, if we just the cross-border remittance, I mean, that's huge. That's huge. Any percentage of that is huge. But you take that, and all of a sudden start adding other assets that need to be paid for and or monies or funds transferred back and forth, like tokenizing real estate and so on, and all these other assets. Man, I mean, we're just really lucky, you guys. We really are. We're lucky to be in this space. Value will be moved from central banks reserve into XRP ledger. I agree with that. Venture, can you sum up the Shane Ellis theory, what it is exactly? Google didn't help. Google doesn't like to talk about anything that is helpful. Well, what I know of it anyway, it's really, that's the main concept, that at some point there's going to be an event announcement or what have you that just skyrockets the price, and you go from 0 to 100, not just in speed, but $0 to $100. I mean, like overnight. And I hope that's the case. I mean, which one of us? We'd all love to go to bed and wake up in the morning and find, holy crap, it's $30, not 30 cents. I mean, that would be huge and life-changing for all of us. I do think they would love to shake us out. if they could, if we get weekends, but I don't think anybody's going anywhere. Venture, do you think Russia is step 3? You talking about Trump's phases? If that's what you mean, Em? I don't know. I've been trying to figure out. He keeps talking about, China's phase 1. I don't know if it's phase. First of all, I'm not sure how many phases there are. If any of you have heard, please mention it. And if it is, and if there is multiple phases, are they all with China or could it be other countries? I had a dream that happened the other night. Oh, that's awesome. It will come true. Buy more XRP as you preach. Well, you guys, I would tell you, I mean, really look around your house, that old motorcycle out back that you're hoping to fix up I've got an old truck. You guys know I love these old trucks. I've got an old truck I have not wanted to sell, but guess what? It's got a for sale sign in it right now. And I mean, it's like, I'd rather cut off this leg than get rid of that truck. But you know what I can buy with the sale of that truck and turn that into XRP, and what that XRP will be worth later and what I can buy with that later, no comparison. So look, I mean, have a yard sale. Look, anything that isn't bolted down that you don't need. If you haven't used it in the last year, sell it. Sell it. You'll buy another one. Sell your children. Can't do that. I bought mine. I have 3 adopted children that we love and adore, and can't do that. So 3 phases. Kenneth, you know that for sure? There's 3 phases. So the commercial only shows does not represent USA. It's Canada. Are you talking about dollar? Are you talking about the only thing you really pick up on that is that big old B. I think CKJ mentioned that big old B that looks like Bitcoin. But maybe that's because they see everything going across the ledger. You put your Bitcoin and put everything else across there. I'm not sure, but I was kind of surprised that they didn't really, feature XRP more in that. Only shows Canada receiving and sending, meaning Canada. Watch it again. Swell launch. Okay, I'll watch that again. Sometimes you have to sacrifice. Well, and that's what I'm saying. It's not so much sacrifice, really, guys. If you haven't used something in a long time, man, turn it into some cash. I mean, $300 is, it's another 900 XRP. Sell your soul, man. That's rough. Let's see. Do you recommend cold storage venture, or is it okay to keep it on exchange? You know what, you guys? I would have it on a cold storage. I really would. I kept mine on an exchange too long, but it was because I really was kind of do some day trading. Well, one of the first videos I did, and why I did the video, is when CKJ put me up to it, was because I thought I would tell some of the stories about when I first got involved, and now all I ever did was get hurt. I don't think I've made a trade yet that I didn't make any money on, except this last dip with XRP when it went to 23 cents. I bought in then, and now we're at 30. So it's the first time. Every other trade I've bought in, every Raven coin, everything I've done, BTR, everything I just got hurt on, and I had no business doing it. Well, that I don't know what that means, but Alex Cobb could learn a thing or two from this live stream. I'm not sure what that is, but Alex is pretty good at his stuff. Let's see. Let me know if anybody troubles you on YouTube. All right, Andy, appreciate that. You be my wingman. You be my bouncer there. Let's see. They think the big B is Bitcoin because they are stupid. All right, free American spirit. Sorry. Venture the B on the commercial is the emblem for the Thai back currency. Oh, okay. All right, NanoX all day. Yep, Money OG, you're right. Hey, Money. Schwartz is going to move the Satoshi Bitcoin. You mean Bitcom, don't you? No, sorry, little Maxine Waters joke there. Into XRP, and Bitcoin will plummet, giving rise to the Phoenix. So isn't that, think about that Phoenix, sorry, it made me think of that Economist article. I mean, that is really kind of bizarre, isn't it? Isn't it literally about the time David Schwartz got his first patent for like kind of a blockchain process, about that same 1988, 89 timeframe? First ever live stream, first time here. Well, thanks for being here, Mike's Vanity Channel. Nice. Or Variety Channel, excuse me. How many cryptos do you own? 2. I own XRP and I own a Bitcoin. But I think I shared that the other night. I'm selling the Bitcoin for more XRP. I know all the eggs in one basket. I get that, but I'm all in on this. I just know where it's going. I told you in part of my exit strategy what my plan was. My exit strategy, was, at $10, I'll sell a portion off, and I'm going to, repay my family budget, what I put into it, and then I'll buy the alts, because I had alts. I had a bunch of different alts, but then I finally got tired of all the day trading and getting creamed every time. It didn't matter. Everybody else noticed that. Didn't matter where I went, no matter what trade I did. Bought in it went down. If I jumped out, it went up, and I just not get good at it. I've tried to understand the TA and all of it, but truthfully, with all the manipulation that's gone on, and this being a wild, wild west anyway, in these cryptos, and I think trying to use TA with XRP is a joke, because if you have a Shane Ellis theory, who had that ascending triangle? Anyway, let's see what else we got here. Do you think the price will go up a bit more by the end of the year? I do. I think there's going to be a swell announcement. The idea that they invited those content creators at the very last minute, giving them no time to make travel plans, really. That kind of, they've known about this for a year. I think something must be up, don't you? I like that big V. I just need to be debt free. Isn't that student loans, credit cards, etc.? Isn't that so true, Ronnie? Seriously, I went on a rant the other night about that. I just really believe we've got to be debt free. We have to get out of their system. This fiat currency is a debt system. The way it works is debt, and it's the debt that keeps the liquidity. You making your payments every month on your credit card, on your cars, and your mortgage, and so on. That keeps money moving. When it seizes up like it did in 08 and there's no money movement, that's when it comes to a grinding halt. And then it gets worse because people freak out, because now there's, a run on the bank and nobody's got any money, and it's a deal. So we have got to get out of the debt system. And the only way you're truly ever free is to pay off your loans, get out of debt. Your house, for Pete's sakes. I wanted to pay my house land taxes 3 years. Hope my live stream is even streaming. I don't know if my computer's fast enough to run this or not, but let's see. Let me get down here. I'm with you on that. Get out of debt. Thanks, Taylor. Let's see, XRP. I don't know if that one's for me or not. Thanks, Peru. You're awesome, buddy. 20K incoming. You know what, CKJ? You kill me, man. You embarrass me. I get all flustered and always talking about, 50K incoming and 20K incoming. I don't know. I don't think people want to listen to me that much, but I do have some. This is the only reason why I'm doing it, because I can't say all that I want to say in that chat room. I type like this. They're pretty fast, but it's still like this. Let's see. Yeah, shoot, it was a great stream between CKJ. I really enjoyed it. It was awesome of him to have me on and let me ramble. I didn't hardly let him talk at all. Let's see. Let's see. You're wise. Thank you. That's kind of you to say. Let's see. For sell XRP, you will be able to get 7 to 10% interest on your holdings in the future. You can. We talked about that, or I've talked about that. Right now, I think it's for me, and I can only talk for me, not financial advice. Never is financial advice. What the heck do I know? But for me, I think it's too soon to let people hold your crypto and try to pay you interest. Again, the same thing. If they say it's in cold storage, do you know that? Have you been to Singapore? Do you know that BitTrue really pulled it off and put it in the back room? Or is that just some marketing and they mean to? They were going to pull it off, but they just didn't get a chance to. I just wouldn't trust that just yet. I don't think we're the industry or the space is that mature yet. And then as far as later down the road, yeah, I might leave some in there collecting some interest later when I have a company that I trust and believe in, and or they come up with something equivalent to the FDI insured like they do down at the bank, $200,000. If they say, hey, your crypto's insured up to $200,000, like your $200,000 would be in the bank, well, then maybe so. But as far as borrowing against it, again, just got done talking about it. Borrowing, it's still a loan. At some point, enough money, have enough money, and you don't need to worry about more interest. That's what the whole real estate developing thing I want to do is. When you have the funds, I can show you making money is easy if you have some. The trick is getting from 0 to 100,000. Once you have some money, yeah, you can team up with other people that have 100,000, and you can make money all day long. So you don't need necessarily those crypto loans to get some interest to increase your wealth. We can hey Beats, we can do that in real world assets or other things. The world still needs other things that, we don't have to only make our money in digital assets. It's just a great, amazing 3 lifetimes opportunity. So it takes money to make money. Absolutely right. Let's see. The trick is you're keeping your health. Yeah. I mentioned that earlier. Making money is hard. Keeping it's even harder. You see, once you have money, everybody wants it from you. So you have to hang. Yeah, somebody just said buy gold. Who said that? Jalen? Yeah. Buy gold. I mean, there's nothing wrong with commodities and, gold, silver, coins, and all the other things that might have some historical and, storage of value. But still, and like I said, the XRP isn't our only opportunity. We can make more digital assets. I'm just suggesting at some point, this kind of guy I am. I want the bird in the hand. I don't want to, if I take some profits at $30 and all of a sudden something happens and it goes back down to 3, I'm going to be bummed. But if I took some profit, I'm going to be bummed. But if I took some profits, then, hey, that was a bird in the hand and I have it. My goal is just to have enough XRP that I have enough exit points with enough profits to make this a fun journey no matter what. Oh, hey, Sean, thanks for the new sub. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Everyone keeps, I just lost that. Where'd it go? Everyone keeps talking about earning interest. Wait for the price to blast off. There's your interest. Absolutely, Jeff. Really, you guys, I'm just not going to, I feel a little better with maybe some of the safeguards. I'm in the U.S. for anybody that didn't know that, but I don't know. I guess I feel a little better for some reason. I don't get to Singapore much. But anyway, hey, Kevin, I guess I could tell you just so you know. So I'm actually doing this as a kind of a test run, because Thursday night of this week, right after CKJ's stream, I'm going to stream again, but Kevin Cage is going to come on with me, and we're going to get a chance to go back and forth and share and hear Kevin's viewpoints. I mean, you've all heard his videos. He's amazing. He has a whole lot more understanding of the technicals than I do. Mine's more, in general and kind of where I think we're at and what I think is going on. But I really look forward to it. It's going to be a blast. So if you're still got some interest Thursday night, tune in for that. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's see. Go down to the bottom here. How many BTC holders that had it under 10 until 10? Not many. XRP will be huge. Absolutely right, Roman. Let's see. This is tricky. CKJ warned me, trying to read the chat, talk, and everything else. It's a little bit of a trick. So many people know about it already. Is that a sign it may never increase in price? Not even close, Todd. I don't believe that for a minute. I was just talking to a guy today that I had introduced one of my contractors to XRP, and he bought his first 300. He bought his first 300 XRP today, and he was kind of made a similar comment. I'm like, we are there. Nobody knows about XRP. I mean, I wore my XRP on a cruise ship, and one guy pointed it out, and it was a server. It was a server on the cruise ship. He's like, hey, XRP. Yeah. So no, it's not even close to, nobody knows what's coming. And by the time they do, it'll be too late. XRP Venture, that'll be great to hear. Both you and Kevin. Kevin's awesome. That will be great. I learned so much from Kevin. True. Thanks, Kevin Cage. See there, Kevin? They're already anticipating. Love the live stream, Venture. Thank you, Steve. Let's see. We are 1% of 1% of 1%, I think is what that is. You're right, CryptoFox. Let's see. Hello from Orlando. Orlando, hey, Roy, I used to live in Florida when I was a kid. New Smyrna Beach. Love that. That was a blast. I haven't seen some of his streams. What is his name again? Oh, I don't know if that's for me. If you're talking about, if you haven't seen Kevin Cage's streams, you got to go find those. Let's see. I am the captain of this ship. Yeah, you are. We're all our own captains. Caventure. Nice shoe. Kevin Cage in the building. Kevin's here. CKJ's here. I think he's still here. Let's see. Peru is here. Spanish Fly was here. Papa Bear, he's going to start streaming from Australia. I didn't know that who you were, Papa. That's cool. Let's see. What time, CKJ, what time is your stream? CKJ stream, well, I'm in Arizona, so I always get, seems like everybody else is on the East Coast, so I'm like, it's early for me. But I think, streams at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Is anybody analyzing your XRP, then selling, taking profits? Well, we've talked about that a little bit. I don't think I'll let anybody use my collateralizing my assets. I think I'll just keep them locked in the fire safe and wait till it's time to sell, on those increments that I have. Let's see. I don't believe they will allow it to shoot up to $30 and drop down to $3. I know that was just a hypothetical scenario. Now it's moving like Bitcoin, and that's what they don't want. Well, I think lots of people have talked about, it flipping Bitcoin. I don't know what's going on with Bitcoin, quite honestly. I mean, obviously the last 6 months it's been on a tear, and now in the last month it's just flatlined and rolled backwards, and who knows where it's going. I don't know. I'm just trying to get it. I was just trying to get one more run out of it, and then I was going to sell it off and get back into XRP. I'm sorry, I am so lost. This was randomly in my suggested. Glad I could drop in. You seem like a nice guy, probably. Well, Annie, if you're gone, thanks for. I will be in DC FinTech. Oh, nice. Hoping to get picked with Big BG. Wow. Yeah, Roman, if you do that, yeah, make it post those. We are obviously all going to love to see that. That'd be great. Let's see. Hey, Venture, glad to be on board. Looking forward to the ride. Isn't that true, you guys? Is this not the most exciting time? I mean, it is hard. It is hard not to get up and check the price in the middle of the night, wondering, was tonight the night? You know, because for us, well, for me here in Arizona, you know, Asia wakes up about dinner time. So, you know, we're packing it in for the night and trying to go to bed, and they're just waking up ready to see what the market's doing and start buying. So you never know what you might wake up to. Yeehaw. Thanks, Andrew. Hey, Andrew, how's it going, buddy? Let's see. I'm used to reading all these names and CKJs and everybody else's chats. This is kind of cool. Let's see. I do that every night, Jeff says. Thanks, Handel. Appreciate it. Handel, you're another one I need to. We had a great talk the other day. We talked for probably an hour and or maybe more, but man, we got a lot of great thoughts and opened my eyes up to some ideas too. Man, this is giving me some sleepless nights. No kidding, man. And I know it's hard. You know what the hardest part is? I don't know if it is for you guys, but for me, it's like, man, I know what's going to happen, and it's like I want it to happen because I'd kind of like to slow down and retire and just do the things I want to do. And you know, I love to build, but it's no fun when you have to build. It's a lot funner when you're just doing your own thing and you're not on anybody's clock or dime. Handle. Let's see. Kevin Cage, nice to see you. Are doing live stream. See, Kevin, I used to see your recorded channel. Well, watch him Thursday night. I'm sure he's going to be awesome. That's where I get a chance to be quiet. We're kind of hoping. We talked earlier this evening. What we're kind of hoping is just that you guys will ask questions and we can try to both chime in from different perspectives and kind of what we think's happening there. Okay. I keep. All right. When you guys are asleep, I'm awake here in Australia. Well, make sure, Papa, to let us know if something happens that we need to know. Wake us up, will you? Thursday night is perfect. Brad speaks at FinTech. Yeah, Kevin mentioned the timing too, and in fact, some of his, as he's been watching some of the TA, he thinks that might be really good timing. By Thursday, we might have some things to talk about, so that'd be great. Oh, Steve, you're 59. I'm 58, so we're right there, brother. We've seen a lot, man. Things have changed, huh? Since we're old enough when, you know, there were no internet, no cell phones. There was nothing, man. I remember my mom was selling computers and was probably 28, so she's 30 years older or whatever. But I remember telling her, Mom, I go my whole life without needing one of those. I was just looking for a nice new typewriter. That's how old I am. Anyway, what a great time to be alive. XRP is the next BTC, even in price. The funny part is BTC community was still fighting. Why does everybody fight? Seriously, why does everybody fight? What difference does it make? Who cares? You want BTC? Buy it. Buy a whole bunch. Don't care. You like XRP? Buy a bunch or buy some of all of it. Who cares? I don't get mad that, you know, CKJ owns Matic. I don't care. Knock yourself out. Good. I hope it's a serious winner. I don't know why everybody fights. I don't understand that. These maxis, who cares, man? Who cares? Who cares? I just want families to do great. I just want people that have struggled. The thing that drives me nuts with these banks and bankers, bankers are worse than lawyers. I'm telling you, all those jokes about, what do you call a bus full of lawyers going over a cliff with an empty seat, a crying shame. That's how I feel about bankers. Bankers they're criminals. But I just hate the fact that, what happens even in your local bank, man? You run out of money and you bounce a check, and what do? They charge you more of what they know you don't have any of. Man, they charge the people with the least the most. Your credit's a little ding. Well, you got to pay 21% interest on your car, but the guy that's got nothing but money, let's give him 0% interest. Really ticks me off. This is what I'm really hoping for, that there is an army, and I mean the XRP army, but I mean an army of people. That's why I tell everybody that'll listen about XRP, in hopes that it'll move their family forward and we can get out of the rat race. Any of you ever play Cash Flow? Robert Kiyosaki's board game that he created. It starts out, you're in a circle, and you have to play, and you're in the circle, and oh man, your air conditioner went out. You had to pay $200, and you keep going in this rat race until you make enough money to get out of the rat race. And when you make enough money to get out of it, you get to go around the bigger track. And the bigger track, you make money a lot easier, which goes back to what we were saying a lot. Is pretty cool. Teaches people how to manage your money and how to think about the bigger picture. And like somebody said, a little sacrifice. I think Shu said a little sacrifice now, delayed gratification. A little sacrifice now so that you can have something more later. All right. Let's see. Somebody agrees with Kevin on something, but I was too busy rambling to even know what that was. So I hope you guys caught it. Yeah, it's sad. Some people never have enough. Yeah. The thing I love about XRP and the opportunities around the world are the idea that we can help the unbanked. You have the people in these third world countries that have gone, they're literally trading cell phone minutes, and they can go from, they skipped right over banks. They can't afford a bank account. The banks don't even want to give them a chance. They don't care. They don't have any money. We don't want to mess with them. They don't need our services, and we don't want to provide it because they don't have any money. Greedy suckers. Anyway, so I love the idea that maybe we can help the unbanked, and they can go just bypass banks altogether until they have a wallet right on their cell phone, and now they can have commerce in between them. Notorious, wow. Hey, thanks. You do some great stuff, man. Make sure you all check out Kevin's second YouTube channel. Yeah, Kevin has a second YouTube channel. Everybody needs to go and sub that. Get his second channel caught up with his first one. What part of Arizona do you live in? Oh, you live in Sierra Vista. Oh, wow. You're at the bottom of the state, man. I'm in the northeastern part of the state. I'm up in Pine Top area, about 6,500 foot elevation. So we're all pine trees up here. People don't realize Arizona is such a diverse state. You go from literally sand dunes down in Yuma to desert, hard cactus desert, to, mountains and pine trees and amazing lakes and fishing and hunting. All right. Let's see. Well, I don't know how long I've been on, but this is probably a pretty good test run. Arizona is beautiful. Let's see. Arizona sounds amazing. It is. It's the most diverse state in the union as far as terrain goes. And people don't realize the stands of forestry that we have here. We have the largest stands of ponderosa pines in the United States. I had never even thought of that, Ronnie. Thank you. Hit those likes. I've never asked for that stuff, so that's cool. Los Angeles, Blancos in South Bay. You got to love California, except for their policies. Queen Creek, Arizona. Johnny, nice. Great. I keep trying to find people. I wanted to do an Arizona meetup. You know, we need to, I mean, shoot, we could go get a big five guys hamburger or something and talk shop. I'd drive down for that anytime. Just kind of nice. Isn't it nice to talk to people that have, you know, the same interests and know what's happening? Mesa. All right, Jonathan, it's in Mesa. Seriously, you guys DM me. Let's get together. If you guys are willing. Peoria. Wow, Steve, cool. Tucson. Where have you guys all been? I've been trying to. Yuma. Got that sunshine. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you're in Yuma or you're just saying. Yeah, Yuma's hot. Denver. Let's see. Okay. Can you give me a shout out? Sure, if I could say your name. Let's see. Charismas. Wait, this is scroll.